Hi everyone, here we are team of four. Myself Ashok, Sameer, Yamin, Sami. We are here to present our project that is Secure Multipart File Transfer. Let's start.
Yep.
Here is our project title, Secure Multipart File Transfer. We are team of four. So introduction. Basically in our day-to-day life, we transfer a lot of files to other people like our friends, colleagues, in the company's file transfer we happen because there are a lot of large files which is very difficult to transfer from one place to another place. So we use the file splitter software which splits the file and sends easily to the receiver. So we have the existing system that is flat clients. We have two types of clients, that is flat and thin clients, where the flat clients consists of all the applications in itself, than the thin clients where we use this as a security for the communication. So data is relatively easy of hack. So that's why we use this kind of stuff to secure our data. So what our system is going to do? So we take all the data, we encrypt the data, we divide the data into several different parts, and then we send the file to the receiver. So we have three different modules, that is GUI, encrypt and decrypt module, and send and receive module. Next. What is graphical user module? Here what we'll do is we have an user interface where we can select the files, we can encrypt the files, and then we can send the file with a secure transformation. That is called as a graphical user interface, where it includes the servicing of both sending and receiving the data, even for the keys. So this is the second module, which is the main part of our project, to encrypt and decrypt the data. So whatever the data we are encrypting, it's going to split into different sizes in a very tiny and small sizes. So the encryption is like binary code or hexadecimal code in which our data going to transfer. The send and receive module, where the main user who is sending will keep a key, and where the receiver uses the same key to decrypt the file. So what are the system requirements? Here we use the Pentium 3 processor with 700 MHz clock speed and 256 MB of RAM, where the minimum requirement of hard disk is 20 GB. So software requirements we use as the Windows 2000, and the latest version is Windows 2010, as we know. Okay, here is the architect diagram of our project, where the file document is encrypted with a secure key, and the file is saved with a different name, and then it's split into different small tiny parts in MBs, that's in MBs, and it's then like a kind of three parts, part 1, part 2, and part 3, then it's sent file to the receiver, where the receiver receives the file of three different tiny parts, then it's gonna go and merge into a single file, and then the encrypted file is saved as a new file, is decrypted with a key which the sender has sent, and then its file we got as a new file and the original file. So we have the data flow chart of the architecture, where the sender selects the file and then encrypts with a secure key, and then splits into our software, and then he sends to the receiver. And the sender receives the file. Okay, so here is the receiver. So receive the file and then merge the files, decrypt them with the key which has sender sent, and then he saves the file as an original one. Yep. The actors in these two are the both sender and the receiver. Sender has to have the same receiver has to have the same password as the sender, where the sender sends the splitted files. Now, Yamin will explain the remaining part.
Hi everyone. Now my friend has explained briefly about what we are doing here. Our project is like security, like securing the data into a very great way, because like he doesn't want our data to be hacked by unauthorized people. So now the sender will send the file to an encrypted file, and then the file will be split into 3 to 4 parts, and the file will be sent to the sender. And then what is going to happen? This file is going to receive, and then it's going to merge. The splitted file are going to merge into one, and then they are going to get decrypted. Decrypted is like while we are sending the file, we are coding it through a Java language so that the data should not be hacked while we are transferring through an IP address. Now coming to activity diagram, how we are going to do it? Like the sender is going to send the file to a file name, and then the file is going to send to a supply, and then select the save option. We are going to save this file while we are sending it to an encrypted file, and then the IP address is being requested. At the encryption system, what we are going to do is like select the file, and then to encrypt it, save the alternate name, and apply the splitting process, and search for the IP address. And at the receive end, the file is going to transfer and it's going to save. Then coming at the receive end, it's going to start first search the server, and then it's going to select the directory and save the save option for it. And then select the merge encrypted files which we have sent to the sender. And then saving option comes, and then the files which the splitter file is going to merge it, and then there will be an alternative name for the password which you are going to send it. And then it's going to go to the decrypt, and then the file is going to saved by an alternate name where the receiver wants to save it by what name he wants. Then coming to a sender thing, like SQL diagram. But here is the same process which we are sending to the encrypted file, and where we have the password. And at the receive end, we are going to have the same password because for the security purpose, we are having the further description about the project. My friend Samir is going to continue from the screenshot of the software.
Okay, I would be going ahead and explaining about how the file is going to get encrypted and sent. So this is how the software would look like, which is File Splitter, from where you would go ahead and encrypt the file and send it to the person. So over here first you go ahead and click on Services, from where you go ahead and click on Send File. So when you click on Send File, so you get a small dialog box which comes up, from where you go ahead and select the file. So you over here, as you see, it was netauction.rar. The file is basically saved in RAR files. You select the file over here and click on Open. So basically after that, when you select the file, it will ask you to select a key which is used by the receiver to decrypt the file. So once that is selected, you click on OK. So now over here, when you're encrypting the file, you give a new name to the file which is encrypted. So you give a name and you go ahead and encrypt the file. So this is what the message which you get. So once that is done, you go ahead and click on OK. And now over here, when the file is encrypted, you are going ahead and dividing the file into different parts. So over here, you go ahead and give how many parts you want to divide it into. So basically, it depends upon the size. If the file is big, you give different more number of parts. So over here, the file is like the 1.36 MB. So it's not a big file. So we are going ahead and giving 2. So now after that, you go ahead and decrypt the file. The file is divided into 2 parts now. So you go ahead and click on OK over here. So after you do that, you go ahead and select the same file and give a new name. So once that is done, you're splitting the file. And you go ahead and click on yes. Once this is done in the file, you see it gives you the file has been splitted over here. It says the file has been split. So after the file has been...
I'll say start.
Okay.
Start.
After the file has been split, you now go ahead and search for the local host over here. Once you're done searching for the local host, the file has been sent. So now after that, you select the parts. So now once you go ahead and select the files which are going ahead and sending the files, select those files and go ahead and click on Open, and the file has been sent. So now after this, my friend is going to go ahead and continue of how the receiver receives the file.
Start.
After I receive the file, I will go to the services button and I will select the receive file, and I will open the file, and I will merge the file because it was in the 2. So I will merge the file and I will confirm is here with the RAR file. And these are my files which I am merging it. After merging it, I have to enter the key, my friend has entered the same key, I have to enter into the key, and I will press the OK button, and I have to save with the new name, whatever the name I have to put it. I will save the, and my file has been saved with the descriptor.
Start.
So this was our project. Any queries, please send that at akachwah@student.govst.edu. Thank you. That's it.